Okay, the last question we have is from Chris Mullen, and Chris says, I would like to ask you about the fills and embellishments within the spaces or pauses between the melody notes. Any tips or suggestions? Yes, I recommend them. Just kidding, Chris. Also, in arranging a cover tune, should each verse be some kind of variation rather than repeating the same part for each verse? And would you share some ideas on deriving variations? Let me answer the last part first. I would definitely share some ideas on deriving variations, and a great thing to do is to play the melody down an octave one time, which is going to make you probably be a little more sparse in your arranging, because you know when you're arranging for solo guitar you want the melody to be the top note. You don't want anything above the melody because you lose the sense of what the melody is. And so if it's a tune, well, excuse me, but if the tune, if you play it the first time with the melody down an octave, you know, guessing you'll be down somewhere in first or second position, you know, then when you play the melody up an octave, it's going to open up all kinds of other things because you got a lot more chord below it than you do when the melody's down an octave. And that's a tool I use a lot. Now the first part, he says, I'd like to ask you about fills and embellishments between the melody notes. And that's a great thing. Chord tones, I strongly recommend them. For example, I'm going to play a little bit of a tune called Moonglow. It's this old tune here. You can probably take a screenshot of that. And hang on. There you go. There you go. And I got it out of this old book called the New Real Book, Volume 3. And it's got a bunch of great tunes in it, and I just kind of opened it up a few minutes ago and said, oh, Moonglow, that's a good old tune. I've never played it on solo guitar before, but it's a great old tune. Let me play a little bit of the melody. I'll just play the first 8 bars, and then we'll talk about what I'm going to do. So, the first 8 bars go 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. So now that's in the key of C, so the first chord is a C major 7. And this next chord is an F7 with a sharp 11. Okay, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you see what I'm doing is this is a real simple kind of arrangement, you know, and this is kind of like what I used to do on gigs when I was, you know, I'd take a real book to a gig and because, you know, no one's paying any attention, I'd just sit there and play tunes and memorize a lot of tunes that way just by coming up with simple arrangements on the spot. And really, that's, other than guitar players, you don't want to blow people away all the time when you're playing the guitar. If you're playing for guitar players, yes, you want to have something flashy, but if you're just playing a gig for someone or just sitting around for yourself or whatever, you don't need all that, the fancy stuff. You don't need a bunch of fast licks. I'm learning that more and more the older I get, and of course maybe some of it's because I had a stroke and then heart failure, but I don't know about that. but I'm finding that, you know, more and more I like to hear less and less. I want a good strong melody, and so anyway, I hope that helps, and good luck. Let me know how it's going, Chris. Bye.